I'll answer, or I'll ask you. I'm not going to answer.
Okay.
I, I'm I'm not that. I don't have that much information in my head. Oh, look at that. Oh, yippee ki yay! Don't answer the other part. Uh, there we go. And oh, yes. I love it when a plan comes together. Would you believe it that we're already live on Facebook?
That's awesome.
That's a great thing, man. And we are back. Here I am, flying Navarro with the No BS World Tour. Today, I am here joined with the guys from Go Fish Cam. Gentlemen, if you could be so kind to as introduce yourself to the people.
What's going on? My name is Hunter. I'm the director of sales of Go Fish Cam, and you call us on the phone, I'm probably one of the first people you're going to get a hold of.
And I'm Brandon Austin. I'm the founder of Go Fish Cam. I have a lot less of a thick Southern Texas accent, but you'll probably also get me on the phone.
Why do you have less of a Texas accent?
Yeah,
I just saw it right now. I could buy it on eBay used for $19.95. So if you have no accent, that's nobody's fault but your own.
I know. I'm originally from Canada, and then I moved down here to
whoa.
Texas.
You're from Canada, eh?
Yeah.
Come on now.
I'm not. I hid that accent. That accent's not going to come out on you. But
you say that. Like I told you a little while ago, I spent 6 weeks a year in Canada. I can listen. This knows. I know a Canadian accent, brother. I know a Canadian accent.
Yeah, you go up to Canada to go tuna fishing, right?
Yes, sir. I go to the Canadian Maritime out of Nova Scotia, Canada.
Yeah, that Nova Scotia tuna fishing is something I've always wanted to do. Those things are massive. Have you ever seen the photos and videos, Hunter?
I have. Yeah, it's they're insane. Yeah,
dude, it's phenomenal. You've never seen anything like it in real life. It is way cool. Let me give a couple shout outs here. I see Steve up in Ocean City, Maryland. I see Steve Lewis in here. Hey, Richie Lowe. We all should be in Ocean City, Maryland. You're up in the Northeast. Orange Beach, Jeffrey Baggett. Good to see you. Curtis Josie. Oh, Susan Abbott from South Texas. She knows where you guys are from. Bruce, Dennis Hill, Spanky, what's going on? Oh, there's Curtis McGilvery, and we got David Lake in the house along with Miss Prophet. David Lake and Curtis are both from Nova Scotia. Hey, Curtis, he's Canadian too. What part of Canada are you from, buddy?
I'm from Toronto.
You're from Toronto. Curtis, what do you know about Toronto? Curtis is from, I would love to tell you he's from Nova Scotia, but he's from Lismore. Huge difference. Nova Scotia is the whole province.
Yeah.
Lismore is a quarter mile. And if you give Curtis the opportunity, he wouldn't even leave the 800 feet of Wharf Road. So house to his boat. That's all he does. That's what awesome. He likes to do.
That's life, right?
It really is. It's awesome. He can see the boat from his house. So at high tide, at low tide, all you can see is the antenna. So
that's a big fluctuation in that tide.
Oh my God, it's a huge. Well, it's also it's a hill that goes down.
Gotcha.
So high tide, you can see the boat. Low tide, you got a deal. And he says even for those 800 feet, he drives. Curtis, my bad, mea culpa. So we were just discussing about if you guys have seen some of the video. Have you either of you done that giant tuna fishing?
I have not yet. We have about 300 ambassadors around the country and a handful up in Canada. And one of them does the big tuna fishing, and so he's invited us a couple times, but we just haven't been able to make that trip yet. But it looks awesome. We definitely want to get out there.
Who is your ambassador up in Canada?
Well, we have about 30 in Canada. Just
Okay,
kind of
which
spread all around.
which is the one that does the tuna fishing, brother? I'm
Uh,
putting you on the spot.
yeah, no, I appreciate that. His name is Nick. I can't remember his last name, but I'll definitely have to get
You
back.
know
to
what? I'm calling bullshit on that. Okay,
I swear, I'll show you.
You might as well just say his name is John Doe, if or just Nick Smith. I mean, come on, you just made a name up.
I swear he's the brother of one of my college.
He's
in
the
Ottawa.
brother of one of your.
He is, yeah. He joined our ambassador team because when I started the company, I started it when I was in college. So a bunch of my college, friends were sharing around to family members that fish, and so one of their family members was from Nova Scotia. He does the big tuna fishing.
All right, do you believe this? I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay, I just got to keep you on your toes. I mean, this is the first time we've visually talked. We talked on the phone before, and it's not like we did an hour's worth of conversation beforehand. So you notice he's wearing the hat. It's really low. So I can't see the face.
I'll uncover my face.
Oh, now you're built for speed. I love it.
Yeah.
Susan Abbott says, no bullshit. That's why it's called the no BS zone. There's no bullshit. So I don't want you lying to me, man.
No, I wouldn't lie.
So let's start from the very, very beginning. You said you started the company while you were in college?
Yeah, I started while I was in college. So I was in college up in Canada.
So before that, when it was an idea, I want to know, at what moment did it pop into your head and what were you thinking?
Okay, well, I mean, you're an angler. Most of the people tuning in are likely anglers as well. And I mean, who hasn't been out fishing wondering what in the heck was going on underwater? What was on their line? What was that fish that got away? Well, I grew up fishing my whole life with my older brother, and we were just talking about, all those times that we had this fish on the line that just gone off, and how there had to have been a way to know what that was. And so that idea just kept sticking in our heads. And when I was in college, my brother was on this big trip, and he ended up giving me a call at I think it was 3-4 in the morning my time, with one of those classic tales, had this huge fish on the line and got off. I'm so upset. I don't even know what it was. And that just kind of led to the idea of Go Fish Cam. Why can't you have eyes under the water from, your lure's point of view? Why can't you know what that fish was, what was going on, what's happening under there? So that's the story of how that led to me in college kind of coming up with the idea and running with it from there.
Awesome. I know we mentioned it earlier before we got online, and I want to be able to put it in the comments so people can see it, and then we're going to continue with your story. You said you're going to offer everybody a code.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to put that code up there so people can see it. And the code is
Fly Zone, all one word.
Fly Zone. So guys, if you want to try out Fish Cam, Go Fish Cam, go to their website and type in Fly Zone, one word, and you get 10% off. And I'll put it on all these different pages, but I just typed it up on there, and then we'll, you know what? I'm going to pin it to the top, and perfect. So now people can see that.
Awesome.
So you have this idea, you want a camera. What was your next step?
So next step was trying to put this thought of a camera into a product I could hold. So, had worked on some startups in the past prior to that. So I had a couple mentors. So I worked with the mentors and with my brother on coming up with some prototypes of the product. just to put something together. And in the meantime, while we were working on that, I just started talking to anyone I could find that fish. So I went on Instagram and I would DM people and say, hey, I have this new fishing product I want to create. Do you mind if we have a phone call? And I talked to about 1,000 anglers before we ever launched anything of the product. And so that just helped us really understand like what people are doing, what they're fishing for, where their problems were at, what they would like to see underwater, what they felt was missing. And so that helped us kind of define and develop the product. And so yeah, it took us about a year and a half, 2 years to actually fully develop the product to where we had it manufacturable, we could start selling it. We did a Kickstarter campaign like most companies do. And then we hit the ground running. We started trying to grow the company and get these cameras out there.
So this camera right here that I have in my hand,
Mm-hmm.
is this the first generation? Or is this
God, hold on. I'll go grab the first generation.
You want to
yes!
see? Yeah.
You see, I knew the right questions to ask. Because
this is the no BS cam here. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we went from about that.
So describe what that is. So you got something that's the size of, I would say,
Almost half my hand.
Half of your hand, width and the length of your hand. Okay.
Yeah, it's about the diameter of a Maglite flashlight, probably about 4.5, 5 inches long. It's large, it's bulky, but it worked.
Here's a question. Did you ever try to license it to your local police department?
So we've actually worked with the Austin, Texas Police Department, and some like search and rescues, like Missouri search and rescues, because they use the cameras for after storms, finding bodies, which is a little not what I had planned for, but with the cameras, but it seems to be a purposeful use for them.
There you go. So that's generation one. What generation are we on now?
So this is the manufacturer generation. It's Gen 3 technically. This one would have been Gen 2, which would have been a little bit slimmer, around the same length, but you can see kind of the difference in size between the three.
It just perpetually gets smaller.
So this one right here it's the size of a small Maglite, like the ones you have on your keychain.
Yeah, they're about 0.75 inches in diameter, about 4 inches long. They weigh 3.2 ounces.
There you go. I see Dave Farrell on here. Dave, are you listening? If you are, give me a thumbs up or something. And is this something that you would be interested in doing a product review on? Dave is part of the Florida and Texas Insider Fishing Report.
Awesome. Oh, that's awesome.
So he's always looking for new products to check out. I like to call Dave Red. He gets mad when I call him Red, but he says only his wife calls him Red. I don't see him answering. He might have just popped in and popped out. So now you're gone into manufacturing. You're giving this first level campaign push. Brian Johnson, you want to have one? Go to their website, use FlyZone as the code, and you get 10% off. He says he loves it. He's got to have one.
Sweet.
So go check it out. I'm not making any money on this. They're just tracking it, giving it to you guys. I don't want any money off of it. I want it. You guys use the cameras. So I want the pictures. Send me whatever you catch. That's what I want. I want to see what you guys catch on it.
Yeah, we do too.
and you have a couple cams over there with you now too. So you're gonna be going and getting some cool dredge footage soon with them.
Yeah, I just found out I'm gonna go white marlin fishing. So
that's awesome.
Do that. Actually, I might take one. I'm going to Colorado on Sunday, just for vacation to go do some river fishing with my girlfriend. But to be honest with you, I'm using like 4-pound test. I think
I wouldn't do that with that. No.
I'm looking at it. I don't think it's gonna work.
I mean,
Nah.
it'll work. It just won't work for long.
Bring it.
It'll stay working. I just won't get it back.
Exactly.
Bring if you want, bring like a separate little thicker hand line with you, and then the camera has a float in that box. So just put the cam in the float. It's great for river fishing.
Oh, you know what? That's actually pretty good. When I did Alaska a few years ago, when the salmon were all coming up the river, I was floating a GoPro through there just to get it.
Yeah.
Just to get it. So actually, I will bring it.
Yeah, it's awesome seeing that river footage with all the salmon.
It's something totally different. So you put it out in your first batch for people to try it out.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you hear?
So we heard a lot of people that they loved the video. They were trolling, casting with it. A couple of people wanted the app to be able to be faster, to be able to see the footage. So we worked a lot on the app and that communication.
Whoa. Dude, stop. Rewind. You never told me that this comes with an app.
So the app.
Wait a second. That you just right now in my book you went from like a level 2, actually more like a level 5 to a level like 12. So, I thought you were guys right at a level 9, but you just spread the whole ratio right up. It comes with an app and everything.
Comes with an app. The app is used for every time that cam comes back to you. So every time you reel it back up, you sync it to the app. You can see what's going on. So now you don't have to wonder, if a fish gets off, if you got a bite, something keeps taking your bait, you want to know what that is, or you see, little blips on your fish finder, you want to know what kind of fish those are, or what the bottom looks like. You just drop it down, bring it back up, connect to the app, and you can see all that footage.
Yeah, we have it set up so you have basically 2 separate methods of pulling footage off, because not everybody is technically inclined, and so we have it set up to where you can review the footage on the boat with the phone in the app. It also works independently from the app altogether, and it works just like a regular digital camera, and you can just plug it into a computer when you get home. But if you actually want to use it as recon, as soon as it comes up, you can press a little Wi-Fi button on it and you can download that last cast right to your phone.
Okay, I got to stop you with the word recon. Did you do time in the military?
I did not. I get accused of that all the time.
I got accused of that last night.
Yeah.
The airlines called me up and they asked me for my frequent flyer number, and I threw out the full Echo Bravo. And
Echo Charlie Delta.
Yeah, and they're like, "Hey, were you in the military?" I'm like, "No, I'm a boat captain." So when I answer questions, that's how I answer them. And he's like, I go, "How about you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I was in the Marines for 10 years.
There you go.
So you threw out recon there, and all I can think of is Clint Eastwood. So I did. Listen, Heartbreak Ridge is one of my favorites.
There you go.
So okay. I love this fact that you got an app with it, because we are definitely in an age where we all want instant gratification. Yep. We want to know what you got. What did you get? So that's pretty cool. Now, what about the battery life?
So the battery life, it's separated into 3 different specs. And so the camera has 3 different resolution settings on it, which all play an effect on the camera. The top resolution setting is 1080p, 60 frames per second, HD. Second resolution is 1080p at 30 frames per second. And the last resolution is 720p at 60 frames per second. At the highest resolution, at that 1080 at 60, we spec between 1 hour and 20 and 1 hour and a half on the unit. If you put it up closer to the 720, you're going to be closer to 2 hours with the unit itself.
Corey, yes, this is waterproof. You can put it on your line. You can attach it to your lure, anything you want. Is there actually, you could probably put a hook to this thing.
Yeah, we've had a couple people, because definitely more aggressive species like pike, muskie, they'll come check out the camera for sure. We've had like Dorado, Barracuda, all attack the cam, but it's super durable, so it can take impact from them and teeth marks. But then what's cool about the cameras, just to the point of waterproof, we test every single camera to 500 feet depth. And then the deepest we've tested to so far is 2,100 feet. So these are definitely waterproof.
And what happened at 2,100?
We saw pitch black because there was still a couple thousand feet to go. So there was nothing for. So the camera has a light on it that you can use in dark water or at nighttime, but the light needs something to refract off of when you're 2,000 feet deep and there's still another 2,000 feet to drop. There's nothing for that light to touch.
Nothing. Okay. I'm feeling what you're putting down. Captain Jeff, yes, sir. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Absolutely. I think we've all built a little bit of our lives as fishermen. We've all had a little bit of our lives on that.
But this is what we use for the deep water, because you can click the camera on and it gives you the ability for that little light that you see on the camera, but it'll operate without the light as well. And so depending on the conditions you're fishing in, you'll be able to enhance that a little bit better. We also went with green on the LED because we actually found it works as a fish attractant, and we have a lot of fish that'll come up and check it out too, and really, really cool shots.
So at what point did you join the operation?
So I joined the operation actually in January of this year, but I had been very, very familiar with Go Fish Cam since inception. And so I've been following them for a very long time. I've been an angler my entire life. And I basically was able to have the opportunity to come on as the right hand of the company and really start pushing it from a lot broader perspective of fishing. And so a lot of videos that you see online, I'm in them. I'm doing a lot of R&D with the camera. I fish with it in all kinds of different scenarios. And I'm typically the one that's talking to every single angler that calls up here and talking to them about rigging techniques, how I like to use the camera, different applications and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been with them since January of this year. Best decision ever made. I have a blast.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I take it you're not married or don't have kids.
I am married, and I do have a 1.5-year-old little girl.
Yeah, I'm telling you, do not tell your wife you were on here. Because if she hears that was the best decision you've ever made, you are in big trouble.
Well, I will be now. Thank you, Fly. Appreciate it.
Listen, I didn't say it. I'm just telling you, you may not want to tell your wife that you were on here today. Right. Because if she hears the best decision I ever made was to go to work at Go Fish Camp, well, what about me? Damn,
that's a professional decision.
That's the best part about video editing, right? We can put best decision and then take later where he talked about his wife and
this is live, man. This is live.
She's not watching it.
Yeah, but your sister-in-law just shared it on her Facebook page, bro.
I'll deal with it later. I have a very comfortable couch.
Well, if not, I'll rent you my townhouse. I'll rent you my townhouse. You can sell the cams here in Florida.
There you
go. Perfect.
So I gotta give a shout out to my boy Richard Gunn, Lucas Oil. Richard, thank you so much for the introduction. Really appreciate it. I got a meeting with somebody tonight who may be interested in your cameras.
Nice.
So he is the CEO of Major League Fishing.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I gotta tell Richard I thank you, because as you know, all this business is introducing people to different people. So
of course,
it's huge. So best professional decision you've ever made. Let's reword that. I got you, Shooter McGavin.
Appreciate it.
And so wait a second. So you came on board January this year, 2020?
Yes, sir.
So it's your fault all this shit's going on.
I'm
all of this is your fault.
Yes.
God, you might as well give your email address out right now too, so people can send complaint letters.
Hunter
at gofishcam.com.
Bam, he's on point.
Yep.
Again, for people that are joining us late, if you go to their website and use code FlyZone, one word, you get 10% off. I don't get that 10%. They're just giving it to you free or for them. So for all you loyal listeners, and Okay, so you've joined in probably one of the most difficult years.
Tell me about
Logistically.
Yeah,
The good thing is we're very lucky that fishing is a sport made for social distancing.
Yes.
And the numbers of people that have taken up fishing has been unbelievable.
It has been. Yes.
So, how about if you explain to us how, if you have, how have you used that to your advantage, if any?
Well, so starting off in this year, before this all kicked off with the travel restrictions, I was able to do a lot of traveling around the United States. I was visiting Virginia, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. I was in Washington State for a little while. I did a couple of shows around Texas, and I was basically doing, fishing shows and raising as much exposure as I could, because I noticed the main problem was that a lot of people had not yet heard about the camera, and most, as soon as they saw it and realized what it was awesome. And so, that being said, we have a camera that it's a fun product. It really is, and it teaches a lot of information and basically gives people a new insight into this whole to the fishing hobby in general. And so because so many people are out fishing right now, and also because so many people are doing a lot more online shopping, they're doing a lot more research into just new products and new stuff that's out. And so we, this year, in spite of the pandemic, I mean, we've actually done extremely well. We have people calling us all the time. There's people, looking for opportunities with Go Fish Cam. There's retailers across the United States that are wanting to carry the camera now, and I'm basically hammering the phones the best I can. So right now, during the pandemic, the two main things that we do more than anything is I am making phone calls to just anybody I can, and I am making videos, and I am using this camera any chance that I can, and showing people how to properly use it, rigging it, casting it, trolling it, and I'm just having a blast doing it.
I love it.
Yeah.
This year's definitely done something weird for our website, because we just get so much more online traffic that comes from really random places.
Yeah.
Our phone somehow has been connected to so many random fisheries of states that we get phone calls from people all the time asking how the weather is and if the fish are biting good. How they get Georgia or Portland or Oregon fishing licenses, and we're like, we don't know, man. You got to go to their website.
Yeah, for about a month straight, I got 3 phone calls a day about, hey, where do I get a fishing license from? I got calls yesterday asking me if I was Field and Stream. I was like, no, but you
might
can
I
call for me.
might I suggest at that moment take their number and their email address and say, let me shoot you the link, and now you just have a new person in your data bank.
Oh, definitely.
That is a great idea.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't want to consider myself a genius, but I was not born last night.
There you go.
That's definitely a great idea, and we don't throw that word around here often. Only
what,
one
genius?
Of our guys.
I throw it around all the. I throw that word around all the time. Yeah. Listen, if I wasn't patting myself on the back, nobody would be.
So
self-gratification.
I should warn you that we have a rule at our office here. We have a giant fish tank that every time you use a fish pun, you owe $1 to the fish tank. It's our boat fund. So I'm just warning you, since we're on live, you won't be able to edit out your fish puns.
So here's a story. Now this goes back many, many years. I had been out drinking all night long. And I don't drink now. I decided to quit just because my body doesn't feel good afterwards. But me and my buddy were sitting next to each other on an airplane, and we were telling some stories. And I slipped out a couple profane words, and the girl that was on the aisle leans her head over. She says, "Excuse me, you owe me $14." Like, I owe you $14. And I go, what? For what? She goes, well, $2 for every bad word. And you said 7 bad words. And I look at her and I look at my friend and I'm like, all right. So I reach in my pocket, I pulled out $100 bill. I says, "Give me the change at the end of the flight." Because I know I'm going to rack up some more.
Right. I thought you were about to say that you were about to rack up another 50 words right there in that one sentence.
I just didn't want to have to keep count.
Right. No, exactly. Yeah. She was already doing it for you. Why not?
Yeah. And you know what? You had 2 fishermen. We had just finished whatever it was, like 15 days of fishing in a row. We're telling stories. I didn't think nothing of it.
Yeah.
And I should have watched my mouth. And it's so funny because when I tell everybody here on live, just be careful. Don't drop the F-bomb. We have a lot of young kids that watch it.
Sure.
I haven't seen Tarzan in here yet, but Tarzan joins in every day. He's 11 years old.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. Oh, wait a second. I see. See, this is why we have backups for backups. And there we go. Let's see if I fix that problem. I did. Had a camera malfunction. Fixed it. As a fisherman, you gotta have backups, man. It's like having it's like only going out with one lure.
Yeah.
So okay, so this year, the craziness that it is, and I can't lie. But listen, you guys have made the most of it. What other tell me some more about the company, not just the camera, but the company. At least for me, damn, what have I missed? The camera? Yeah, Paul, you've missed the camera. It's Go Fish Cam, and go check out their website. Paul's from Connecticut. Here's the funny part: after you start doing this for a while, you start knowing where everybody's from.
Yeah.
So that's one of the cool things. And so I'm looking at 3 different pages. I've got 3 different pages opened up right now, and so I'm watching people chime in. Yeah, man, Go Fish Cam. You put it on your line, you could see what's biting your bait. Come on, dude. I am currently in the market for no. Check this out. Check the guys out. Check out Brandon and Hunter. This is look. You're showing it. It's the size of a mag light. It's very small. And you get 10% off if you use the code FlyZone.
It's basically an inline fishing camera that films your lure from the lure's point of view.
Corey, thank you for reminding me. Let me scroll back up. And he did. Corey had a question. Can you attach this camera to a tripod and use it as a regular camera to do videos on fishing?
As far as attachments are concerned, right now we don't have any attachments for the camera, but you can attach this camera custom to a manner of different things. You know, this thing operates just like a regular action camera outside of the water. It's like I said, it's got a great view. It's got a great auto white balance. You know, a lot of people utilize zip ties with this camera in order to attach it to things. I've had a lot of people put them on a whole manner of things. I've had them stick them on bicycles. We got a guy that's doing a zip tie on the end of a spear gun right now, but not on the gun itself, on the actual spear, because he wants to watch the camera fly into the fish. We've had bow fishermen do the same thing with a bow and arrow. You know, and it's pretty versatile just because, you know, you don't have this massive mount hanging at the bottom of the camera. And, you know, as you can see on the screen, it's a very, very small attachment point that's got a very low profile. And, you know, that's stainless steel. It's not going to break off. You can attach that to all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I think the strangest request we ever had for a camera was someone wanted to use the cameras to inspect chimneys.
Yeah.
So they were going to put it on a line and drop the camera down the chimneys, or even cast it on houses that they didn't want to climb up.
Yeah.
You know what though? It's an option.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like options.
Yeah.
Corey, did that answer your question, buddy? I apologize that I went through it. They're coming in, and sometimes I don't reach them all. You're telling a story.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, good.
what is next in line for you guys?
Well, so, Go Fish Cam, we're working on some new products from a camera perspective and from kind of a fishing technology perspective. So we have the team focusing on that. And then we're starting to partner with other companies and also do new products just under the name Go Fish as well. So here we have our Go Fish line cutters, partner with a really cool company here in Texas called Line Cutters. And they're great guys as well. And so now you can get yourself some Go Fish line cutters as well. Yep. And so we're starting to build some new products and starting to focus around, what the anglers want, being able to offer products that can suffice for all your angling needs. Yeah. And like we said, we have a phone line. We talk to anglers all the time, talk about rigging tips, talk about what they want, what they're looking for. And so if you have suggestions, people can give us a call. Our number's 833-8-GO-FISH. You'll talk to Hunter or myself, and you can give us a call, and we'll chat fishing with you, and we'll let you know what's in the product pipeline.
I love it.
The opinion of our users and our customers is the single most important thing to me over here. And again, we are working advancements as far as the camera angle moving on to the future. I can't say a whole lot about it, but I'll just tease that a little bit. But we are definitely listening to people. I talk to everybody, and we write down every single suggestion. We see what we get the most of, and working with engineers and R&D, and so we got some pretty exciting stuff coming out.
So I just gotta say a comment about Brian Johnson. He said some Mongo Wahoo bites would be awesome to see on this type of camera.
They are, yeah.
Any kind of Mongo Wahoo bite is phenomenal. Yeah. Brian was on the podcast last week. Him and his boys, they have the Mongo offshore tournaments. It's a summertime long tournament to see who catches the biggest fish of different species. So
that's awesome. That's
cool. Actually, they're in your neck of the woods. They're for the whole Gulf of Mexico, that whole entire area.
Nice. We'll have to connect with y'all. Maybe we'll do some kind of side pot where people can put a camera on their line. If they get a Go Fish shot of the winning fish, then they win an extra bit of cash.
Whoa! You heard it here first, folks. Paul, that's right. 833-8-GO-FISH.
Yep.
It's funny because mine's 866-4 fly zone.
Nice. Yeah. Always great when you can get those numbers in there.
Yeah, they work out,
Brian says they've weighed a 73.32 pound wahoo this morning.
That's a good wahoo.
That's a nice one.
That's a good wahoo.
That's awesome.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
Brian, did you get that phone number? 833-8-GO-FISH. Let me know, and that I don't even have to be descriptive about that.
Nah, it's
that's perfect. I'm like, okay, is that going to sound right when we're on just the podcast, not just the live? So now here's the thing: if somebody calls up and wants a good fish recipe, can you guys handle that too?
Yeah, we're starting to have Hunter do some catch and cook. So he's our resident fish boy at the office. Whenever he goes and does these videos,
don't ever let him call you that, dude. And especially,
look. So I basically have positioned myself into a career where I'm the main fisherman, and so that's what I do for a living. So they can call me fish boy all day. I'm perfectly fine with that because I get to go out and fish and play with these cameras as a career.
Yeah, we have these deep fry cookers here at the office, these like giant saucer pans, and so Hunter will come and fry some fish up after some of his trips for the office. And we're starting to make some catch and cook videos. So people can definitely check that out on our YouTube. But if they want to call and get the recipe specifically, they can call and ask for Hunter.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's my question for you. What's his best dish?
Well, so far, he's definitely proved to us that gaff top, they're catfish, right?
Yeah, it's a saltwater catfish.
Yeah, gaff top are delicious when fried.
You're a braver man than me. I wouldn't eat a catfish to say.
I normally won't either. I think something that will eat anything is a disgusting thing to eat.
But he won't eat anything. A gaff top is a predator catfish. I catch them on lures, man.
But he proved us wrong because he mixed it in some fried snapper and then fried gaff top next to each other, and then he knew which one was which. We didn't, and then he was like, "All right, which one do you like better?" And our entire office said the gaff top.
Really?
Yeah.
I also do a mean snapper on a half shell too.
Whoa! On a half shell of what?
The scales, that's what I mean by on a half shell. I leave skin and scales, throw them on the grill with a little bit of lemon, butter, some Tony Saffron.
I didn't know if you put it on top of an oyster. I don't know.
No, that's what we. It's half the skin still on the fish. That's why we call it half shell.
Okay, listen. Let's clarify this. Not everybody is in the know like you, man.
It's a Cajun thing, So yeah, if you look,
I thought you were from Texas.
I am from Texas, but we're right next to the Louisiana, so it's just one of those. It's a Gulf Coast thing.
Okay, so make sure you give your coonasses a shout out, man.
Gotcha.
I got some boys from Louisiana, dear friends of mine. Yeah. I go duck hunting with them every once in a while.
They'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
No. I get it. So you guys are doing some cooking stuff there, which I love. I think it's awesome. I know we're planning to do one here live on the podcast soon. I got reached out to by Chef Nikki out of Tallahassee, and we're trying to figure out, and it's going to be same thing, seafood based.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a fisherman, man.
We'll have to tune in for that one. That'd be good. Give Hunter some new cooking ideas as well.
So you're saying he needs some help?
No, he's great. Trust me. I can't cook for anything. I'm an Uber Eats, DoorDash type person for my dinners. So when Hunter cooks, I take all the leftovers. That becomes my meals for the week.
I grew up fishing for food, not fun. And so it's just the way I was raised. My grandfather was a shrimper, and not for profit. It was just that was the type of, protein that we were able to get. I grew up in a very, very small town. Like I had to take a boat to go get groceries type small town. And really? So, yeah. And I grew up eating a lot of seafood. Like I ate shrimp two times a day, 7 days a week. It's the last thing that I want, but consequently, I know how to cook them really well.
Listen, I love shrimp, and Bubba and Forrest taught me that there's more ways to make shrimp than you could ever imagine.
Yeah, that's entirely accurate. You know why there's that many ways? It's because when you're on the coast and that's all you eat, you have to come up with inventive ways to make it taste different.
So what's your favorite?
My favorite style of shrimp?
The favorite way to cook shrimp, yeah.
Honestly,
if you say cocktail, I'm gonna hang up.
No.
I'm gonna hang up.
I honestly, one of my favorites is just fried shrimp. I do enjoy fried shrimp, but coming in a close second is like a shrimp coubillon. It's like a shrimp gumbo, but it has more of a tomato base to it as opposed to the roux.
What's your spicing for your fried?
That's my special shit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's actually what it's called.
It's called that.
If you go look at the Catch and Cook, he has a bottle. That label is that
special shit. You can say special shit. Wait a second. Ponchi says spicy pickle shrimp is the best.
Never had it. I think I'll try that.
I do like fried shrimp, but it's not. Number one, when I have fried shrimp, I don't want it to be like little popcorn shrimp. I want it to be
big,
real.
Yeah,
real shrimp.
I'm using 912s, at least.
See, that's perfect. That's perfect. And now, for people that aren't familiar with counts, could you now explain what a 912 is?
So a lot of times when you purchase shrimp or you're getting shrimp from a fish market, you'll hear it referred to in numbers, 912s, etc. And what that means is 9 to 12 shrimp per pound.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So when people start calling medium shrimp, large shrimp, extra large, jumbos, there's an actual count for how many shrimp there are in a pound.
Yeah.
So
I didn't even know that. So I'm learning stuff today also.
Did you really?
Yeah, I just knew the sizes I'm like, yeah, that one looks pretty jumbo. And that one looks pretty large.
Now you know.
Right.
Listen, I'm my biggest thing is education. I love educating people because I'm a firm believer in if you're educated on something, you can enjoy it better.
Yeah.
And that's why all my videos I do, they're all how-tos to teach people. So I'm really big on educating, and I'm glad we educated you today.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That's great. So I'm trying to think. I'd have to say maybe shrimp scampi. But I do love a good gumbo. But see, a gumbo for me is not just the shrimp. It's the shrimp, the chicken, the sausage, and the okra.
Yeah.
And the okra for me is what does it.
Yeah, the coubillon that I make, it's some people down here call it a gumbo, but it's not, because it's more of a red tomato base, but it's normally just shrimp and crab, and you still have the okra and the celery and everything, and it's amazing. I mean, it's almost like a shrimp marinara soup, and it's amazing.
That's
but then shrimp kisses are pretty high up there too. Have you had those?
What are shrimp kisses?
That is a shrimp with a piece of pepper jack cheese wrapped in bacon, and you put them on a grill.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. It's heaven.
That sounds phenomenal.
Yeah. They're amazing. Absolutely amazing.
We're inspiring new recipes for catch and cook ideas for the office now.
He's volunteering me to cook them food is what he's doing.
That's perfect. Wait a second. We have Captain Jeff says, how about a shrimp and grits with a little crumbled sausage on it?
Shrimp and grits is amazing. If you've never tried it, try crawfish and grits.
Oh,
it's also outstanding with a little bit of green onion on top. It's phenomenal.
So for everybody that's joining us a little later, I'm here with Brandon and Hunter from Go Fish Cam. We're talking about their cameras. They've also offered up a code for you guys, Fly Zone, one word, on their website. I posted up their website as well. Go check it out. But until then, we're still going to talk about some food because I like talking about some food.
Oh, I agree.
It's getting close to lunchtime
for us,
so we're definitely open to talking about food.
You guys are an hour before.
Yeah.
I ate right before it came on.
So we get to sit here and be hangry and talk about food. That's
I won't let you get hangry. You can stay hungry, but I won't let you get hangry.
There you go.
All the most special people in my world, and I'm not mentioning any names because I don't want to put them on point. But there's 3 of them, and they all have a tendency to get hangry. And unfortunately, at one point or another, I have seen it, and I don't ever want that to happen. So
it's not pretty.
No, it's not pretty at all.
Yeah.
So we don't want anybody. Now I got a question for you. Now that I'm thinking about it, we're talking about all this shrimp. Have you ever put one of these cameras on the shrimp draggers or anything like that?
No, unfortunately, as far as the shrimping in my family went away right in 2008 after Hurricane Ike. And so for those familiar with the Gulf Coast, Hurricane Ike literally came right to my doorstep and completely leveled the town I was living in, and decided it was going to take our shrimp boat with it. And so the way shrimping works in the Gulf Coast is that there's only so many fishing licenses that have been allocated for available use. And so in order to get a shrimping license, you have to find somebody that's wanting to get out of the industry to buy it from them. And so after we lost the boat, there was no need for us to continue to have it. And so we went ahead and offered it to somebody else. And, after that hurricane, that I didn't even have a foundation left, where my house was at, I decided I wasn't going to live on the coast anymore. It just wasn't something that I wanted to deal with any longer. And so I moved up here to Austin and started doing that. I mean, I still visit the coast quite a bit because I love my salt water. I love fishing, but it's just not where I want to lay my head anymore because my home is effectively gone. Land is still there, but home is gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the bad thing about hurricanes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give you a recipe idea because somebody just suggested it. Josh Wilkinson from Boater's Planet says Fly likes his shrimp lightly dusted in Cuban coffee grounds and deep fried.
Oh,
I have never heard of that, but it does not sound terrible.
So here's the funny thing. I have a very good friend of mine who, because I'm Cuban, so I love Cuban coffee, and I introduce all my friends to it. And once you have it, it's highly addictive. It's just so good. And I have a friend of mine that he literally makes these dry rubs with Cuban coffee.
really?
Man.
And oh, it's downright amazing. He's made some briskets. He'll get some Cuban coffee, some coarse salt, maybe different little seasonings in there, and then he'll rub this brisket down, or he'll rub the ribs down, and then put it on his smoker. Oh dear Lord.
That sounds
Uh,
I feel like that's an amazing marketing idea from the standpoint of caffeinating your food for breakfast for people that don't necessarily like to drink coffee.
Well, it's so funny you say that, because the first time we had it, he gave it was like a little tub of it to my girlfriend, and she was sprinkling it on her eggs.
Yeah,
Just to kind of lightly dust it off.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
We'll have to get a good suggestion for a good coffee from you, because we're fixing to change the coffee we have at the office.
Yeah, I started griping about it, and people are giving me a little bit of pushback, but I'm gonna win. We're gonna get new coffee here.
You know what? Make sure I have your office address.
All right, we can do that.
I can hook some brothers up.
Sweet.
All right, sounds good.
The only issue is, don't call me after everybody's drinking.
Okay.
Yeah, because listen, you're going to drive each other nuts. That's
Everybody's
trust me.
moving 10 times normal speed.
Yeah, well, Cuban coffee's been helping us Cuban people do dumb shit faster since the
Oh, there you
beginning
go.
of time.
Okay. Oh, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
And it's so funny. First of all, I'm a morning person. I wake up early. I drink my Cuban coffee, and the mornings I get so much shit done in the mornings. And then what I sip on, I either drink water. Lately, I've been on this green tea kick. I spend a lot of time in Japan. I love Japan. I just accepted position to be a tournament director for a tournament over there. So I have a lot of friends over there, and I was talking. I did one of these podcasts on Saturday morning with my buddy in Okinawa. I'm like, oh, I miss my green tea. So I bought green tea on Monday, and I've been drinking it all week.
That's awesome.
But no, I'm Cuban coffee in the morning, and I'm zinging all day. But when I hit that wall at about 8:30 at night, I'm out.
Down.
I'm down, dude. I swear, I'm like a 4-year-old kid. I'm like a 4-year-old kid. Go, 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 go. Done.
Exactly.
I'm one of those people that I can like fall asleep anywhere. So once I get tired in the evening, I'll fall asleep standing up, sitting down. Like the second I lean my head over, I'm out.
So it's funny you say that, because I thought I saw you chicken heading a little while ago.
No,
I really did. Yeah.
No. If there's nothing around the head that's comfy that I can lean on, there's no chicken heading.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the way our dynamic works here. Brandon's very laid back. He's pretty calm. I'm very dynamic and loud. So we balance each other very well.
Now, how many people do you guys have in the office there?
So we have myself, Hunter. We have another Brandon, but we call him by his last name, Robin, so that there's no confusion. We have Brian, who works here as well, and then Andy and Tyler.
Yeah. Okay. So you got a pretty full off. Oh yeah, that's Cuban coffee is going to make you guys go in circles. It's good. You guys are going to go crazy.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. I'm going to see the phone ring, and it's going to be the two of you calling me back and forth and me not answering.
Right. Leaving you voicemails. I'm speaking very quickly.
You son of a bitch. I can't believe you gave us this stuff. Listen, it's good stuff.
And when can I get more?
That's easy. You can order it. Actually, Corey's got a question for you. Has Brandon ever tried homemade smoked salmon? And it is very good.
I've not tried homemade smoked salmon.
So Corey's from up in Oregon.
Okay.
So he does a lot of salmon fishing, and every once in a while on the podcast we get an Oregon fishing report.
Mhm.
We did not get one today, but I don't want to call him out on it. But
we actually have a lot of customers up in the Oregon, Washington area
A lot.
who use it on like the cameras and stuff on their downriggers, and then a lot of people on the West Coast during crabbing season, they'll use it on their crab pots.
well, see, it's funny because when we were talking about the shrimping, before Hunter took us down this really negative story that I felt so bad I didn't want to, say anything.
You asked.
I
and you
know.
told me- You said
I
no
know.
BS. You said
I
no
know,
BS.
I know.
Like, no,
But
great. It looks awesome. The net's open. Everything's pretty.
I felt so bad. I just didn't want to say nothing. I'm like, oh dear God, I didn't realize this was all I could listen. When you tell me somebody loses a shrimp boat in a hurricane, all I can think of is Lieutenant Dan on top of the Jenny. Okay,
Right. Yeah.
that's all I can ever think of.
Yeah.
But up in Alaska, they catch these pink shrimp, but they catch them in cages.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It just in my brain, I think it would be like a cool idea to watch these little shrimp crawl in the cage.
Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome.
That would be cool.
We people keep sharing like really awesome videos with us, and so with the crabbing during crabbing season, I think the funniest video we got was someone strapped our camera and a GoPro
To a
crab, and then watched the underwater side of it.
They bridled him in the back, so where he could still crawl and he was on the line, and they strapped the Go Fish cam to the top of the crab and just let him crawl around on the bottom and go check stuff out. It was an amazing point of view.
Wow.
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah, it's on our YouTube. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty different, definitely.
Guys, go check that out because that sounds pretty awesome. That sounds way awesome.
Yeah. It amazes me the creativity of some of these customers that buy these cameras and what they do with them and different things like that. Like, are you familiar with magnet fishing? I've seen that where they'll throw a big magnet out in the water on the string and try to catch metal stuff in the water and
No.
spillways. Okay. So you can buy these fishing magnets that are rated for 500 pounds, and people are finding guns and knives and all this other stuff. And so people started zip tying the cam onto the lines. And so whenever you're seeing the magnet pull back, you're seeing stuff stick to the magnet, and it's getting a lot of really crazy video underwater too. So that's pretty neat.
And then naturally we had to go and get a magnet for ourselves
We
for
did.
the office.
Yeah. So I'm waiting on doing that. I haven't went out and used it yet, but yeah, I'm excited. I got a few bridges that look sketchy that I want to go throw this thing off of. See what I find.
Magnet fishing.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
I've heard some really, really cool stories, but I've never heard that.
Yeah. They got YouTube videos on it. It's different. It certainly is different.
So, is there anything you guys feel that we may have not covered about your company or these cameras?
Well, the main thing is just I always like to let people know, when using these cameras, a lot of people have a couple of misconceptions about them, and I want to make sure that everybody knows exactly what it is. So the main thing is that we get this question a lot. Does this camera live stream whenever it's underwater? And, the answer is no. And it's because it's not a limitation of the camera. It's a limitation of the technology that's available today. There has not been a signal invented that can transfer video through the medium that is water. And so the way these operate is that when they're underwater, they're going to be recording all the action. And as soon as you reel them in, you can then obtain the footage. They'll also live feed if they're put inside the bobber, but that allows the sensor to be above the water column. And so that's one of the biggest things that we always let people know. The other thing is that people that are on the fence about, potentially trying one of these cameras out, they have the same concern that everybody else has. What if I lose it? Nobody wants to lose their fishing camera. And me, I've gotten to the point to where if I lose a camera, I'm not upset because I lost the camera. I'm upset because I lost the footage. That's what I'm upset
That's
about.
always the biggest thing. You can replace the camera, not the content.
And so we always let people know, run a heavy pound test braid to the back of the camera. Even, casting or going offshore, just scale it up. Lighter pound test leader off the end. You always want your breakaway point between the camera and the lure and the actual reel itself. But we are the only fishing camera company on the market that when you go to our website, we sell insurance for these cameras. And
Come on.
yeah. So if you lose it, I'll send you another one. And so it's a little program you can opt into for $50, and it basically allows you to keep a camera in the queue if you happen to lose your camera within 2 years of purchase. So basically you get to try it worry free. If you happen to lose it, don't worry about it. I'll send you another one.
That's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
That's nice. You know what? I don't care what Brandon says about you.
I don't care what he says about me.
You're a good guy, man. Brandon.
Hey, who do you think came up with that idea?
I helped.
See, look, I'm gonna stir this pot, and then
That's exactly what you do. You stir
and then I'm gonna cut you guys loose for lunch.
and then you're gonna send us the coffee and stir the pot more.
Yeah, we're all smiles, but as soon as this camera goes off, it's gonna be bad.
Listen, if you want to go full UFC right now, we're live. I'll take the bets.
Right.
So anyway, you guys
they fit in the hand well for a fist. You know what I mean? It's like a roll of quarters.
Oh, I don't even want to know. Maybe a resurface feature. Actually, you have a float that comes with this, correct?
It does come with it. But when the camera, if you're not using the float and you're trolling it, I understand the whole concept behind something that will cause it to resurface. But these types of components that you would put into a device like this would really only make it more expensive. And the other thing about it is that we wanted this camera, we don't want it to float, but we don't want it to sink like a rock either, because the way that we have it designed is that as long as you keep a leader on this camera that's longer than a foot, whatever lure you are trolling is going to perform exactly the way it would as if this camera was not there. And that is by design. And so if the camera floated or it excessively sank, it would change how that lure moves, and it would change how it performs, because the camera is going to follow whatever that lure wants to do. And that's the way we design it. And so unfortunately, it's, as opposed to coming up with different ideas on how to create a little micro burst in it that causes it to float back to the top and all this other stuff like that, it's all about prevention at the end of the day. It's just it's about prevention, and so because you take the risk with anything that you throw in the water, I mean, it's like you said, you use a lot of dredges and stuff like that. I know dredges are expensive, but you throw them in the water all day. It's just how much a reward you want to get for that risk.
I want the footage.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my thing. I want the footage.
Mm-hmm.
So, all righty, guys, you hold on right there. Everybody else, I want to say thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time out and watching us today. Thank you to the Go Fish Cam guys for joining us today in the No BS World Tour. And I know I don't think I have anybody next week because I'm going on vacation.
There you go.
So, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to come at you live something on Facebook. With me, you never know. If I find a bear or something, I'll go live and try to feed the damn thing.
Right.
You never know. There's a reason why they call me the crazy Cuban.
Play dead.
I'm gonna drink another shot of coffee and go smack them. Have you seen the video of? I'm assuming it's a fake bear, but it's a bear and a guy in a set of Grundens fighting on the side of a river.
Yeah, I think that's a beer commercial. I'm almost positive he's like skating back and forth and he's punching.
They weren't. Yeah, they were just back and forth on the edge of the river. So when I'm up in Nova Scotia, I wear orange bibs and a black, what the Canadians call a toque.
Yep.
And that's just what I wear the entire time I'm up there. A toque is a beanie cap, a snow cap.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Being from Florida or Texas, you wouldn't know. I call it a snow hat.
Okay.
But in Canada, they call them toques. And anyway, that's what I wear the whole time. Anyway, my buddy calls me up. He's like, "Hey, man, is this you?" Because the guy looks just like goatee, whole 9 yards, but it's like 100 yards away. So
I don't think I've seen that video yet, but I'm gonna have to go
I'll show
look.
you.
I'm gonna
I'll
have to
show you.
search bear fighting guy.
It's good stuff.
if I find it, I'll send it to you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
So, alrighty, all you cool cats and kittens, thank you so much. And we will see you the next time here on the No BS World Tour. And we will check you later. See